looking at graphs yesterday. What can you tell me about graphs? What's it? Ryan, what's a graph?
It's a model of data.
It's a model or what? Of data. Model of data. Why would I make a graph? Why would I do that? Santiago, why would I make a graph?
Keep track of your data.
Keep track of my data, sure. Sure. Any other reasons why I would make a graph? Sabrina?
Maybe so you know which one's less and which one's more.
We make graphs because they're a little easier for us to read. When I look at my data, for instance, even just the tally chart that we made this morning, I can very clearly see which season people liked the most. But if I had you write your name and then the season, my board would be all jumbled. It would be hard to see clearly, see quickly. So we make graphs so we can read data easier, right? Pictures are easier to learn things from than like a paragraph. It's the same concept. Yeah. That is a data chart. So go ahead and open up to our swing page. And I want you to kind of review the pictographs that we looked at yesterday. We had 2 pictographs, one on sports and one on Girl Scout cookies. Someone tell me, what is a pictograph again? There's 2 of them in your notebook. What is a pictograph? Ada Washington, what's a pictograph? It is a graph with pictures. Isn't that convenient since it's a pictograph? Right? Is there anything special that I need to pay attention to on a pictograph that I should probably pay attention to? Lindley? The key or the scale. Why would the key or scale be so important to pay attention to, Lindley? You keep going.
One of the pictures are worth.
Very good. Could my pictures be worth 1 vote or 1 tally?
Yes.
Yes. But a lot of times, especially if we have a lot of data, instead of counting by ones, it might be easier to skip count by something larger than ones. What was our key on the sports pictograph from yesterday? What was our scale? Don't look at me, the answer is not on my pretty face, it is in your notebook. Maddie, what was our scale on our sports pictograph?
A soccer ball meant 8 votes.
So every soccer ball was actually equal to 8 friends voting. What about our cookie graph? What was the scale per cookie? Piper? Each cookie was worth 6 boxes. This is just like our mental math. Right, this morning we had raspberry was equal to cherry. Do those look exactly the same?
No.
No. One cookie picture does not look like 6 boxes. They don't look the same. But they are worth the same amount. Okay? We're going to continue creating a pictograph. We're going to actually create a pictograph based on our data that we collected this morning. But before we do that, I want you to think, what kinds of data could I use for a pictograph? I want you to title your next blank page that question, and then I want you to start writing some of your ideas down. What could be some data that I could use and show in a pictograph? So yesterday in our pictographs, some of the data that we could have used would have been favorite sport. If I asked, what is your favorite sport, and I gave some options, I could graph that data in a pictograph. We also did number. Remember, I know that looks like a hashtag, but before it was a hashtag, it was used as a number symbol. Number of cookies sold. They were not favorite cookies, they were number of cookies sold. I could use that information and put it into a graph. What else could I put in a pictograph? Sabrina, what do you think?
I feel like something more like
Give me more specifics. What something?
like cookies. Like who likes like who likes cookies?
Alright, so we could do favorite snacks, right? We just have to make sure we give options. Kaylee?
Colors.
Colors. We could do favorite colors. We could do what color you are wearing, right? I could get that data and put it in a pictograph. Sure. Emily? Animals. What kind of animals?
Your favorite animal?
We could do favorite animal. We could do number of legs on an animal. That'd be a lot of animals, though. What you think of Maddie?
Favorite hobby?
Favorite hobby? Sure. Piper?
Favorite candy?
Favorite candy? Sure. Gabriella?
You could show how many pets you have.
How many pets you have?
Or
Sure.
pets you have. You just
You could show how, oops, I guess I could put the word many in there. Many books you've read. Favorite book. Favorite book gets hard because remember, if we do favorites, we have to give options. Ava? Sure. Aiden? Math strategy? Sure. Aiden? States? Like, what do you mean by states? I guess you could do like states you have visited.
I have visited.
No. That data, that you could use. Sure. Kaylee?
Stars.
What do you mean?
Like the stars in space.
So how would you put that in a pictograph? Don't think that's going to fit in a pictograph. Jackson?
Your favorite place.
Favorite place? Could be. Yeah.
Your favorite subjects like art.
Sure. Favorite subject in school? Sure. Underneath this, we're going to put in our data in a tally chart, which is what we've created on the board. So what I want you to do is section off the bottom of that paper into 4 sections. You do need a title. Just like a title of a book is very important, a title of a graph is also very important. You need to tell the reader of this graph, what are they reading?
Is it gonna be that exact one?
Yes, you're copying exactly what we have on the board. So this morning we said, what season is your favorite? And obviously we have 4 choices. We have spring, summer, fall, and winter. The important thing with pictographs, and really any kind of graph that you're doing, is we want to make sure we give options. We don't want to have 1,000 options because then our data is not going to turn out very well. We want to kind of limit people's options. So, for instance, if I'm doing ice cream flavors, there's a zillion ice cream flavors out there. But I'm not going to give all 1 million ice cream flavors. I might limit it to 4, 5, 6, maybe. Okay. Winter, you guys had 2 friends, so we're just going to leave it as 2 tally marks. Tally marks are just straight lines, and they represent one vote. Tally marks do not skip count. They are just one. I had one friend in full, so I'm going to put one tally mark. Now, I have quite a few in summer. It's hard to see, just by looking at that, how many. I told you tally marks just mean one. However, I can arrange my tally marks to be in groups of 5 to make it easier to see. So I'm going to go ahead and count. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 friends. So the way I arrange my tally marks in groups of 5 is I do 4, just like I would normally count to 4. But then that 5th one, I'm going to draw across and connect the 4 between it. So when you see a tally mark arranged like this, it's arranged in groups of 5.
Don't do it now.
So there's my 15 friends in summer. Do we see how when I arrange them in groups of 5 like that, it's a lot easier to quickly tell how many of you voted for summer versus all my individual tally marks? Sabrina?
Because it's easier to count with 5.
Yeah, it is easier to count by 5. Yep. Colin?
What's your favorite season?
My favorite season is definitely summer.
Wait, that's when you put yours on?
I am not going to put, well, I'll add mine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yay! We have 16. Yep, I am definitely a summer person. I essentially live on the island in the summer. I have a very summer car. It prefers to run in the summer. It doesn't like to run in the winter. I like a lot of summer activities. Surfing, paddleboarding. And I could totally do those things in the winter, but no. What's up, Beta? Alright, so now we have our data, and you should have your data in your notebook. We're going to create a pictograph based on this data. Leave your notebook open, and I'm going to hand you this page. You need to put your name on it and your number, just like always. Number 1, or the first part, says write a brief paragraph about the pictograph's data. We haven't made our pictograph, but you can tell me, what is our pictograph going to be about? That's what that's asking. It doesn't really need to be a paragraph, but maybe a sentence or 2. So when you get your paper, put your name on it and number, just like always, and then start writing a sentence or 2 about what our pictograph is about. About. What did you write? What did you write? Josh, what did you write? Okay, tell me what you're going to write.
Our data is the most easy. We are using frameworks to see which one has more.
Just about random seasons. Look at that title really quickly. What is that title? Josh, look at the title. There we go. Our data is about our favorite season. As long as you have something along those lines, we're good. Alright, number 2. Here's where our pictograph is going to be. On the left side of that chart, we need to put our categories. So we had spring, summer, fall, and winter. Those were our categories. We need a title. I know, tricky. What could be our title? Madeline? Could be our favorite seasons. I like it. Could you put the same question that I have above our tally chart? Yeah, that would work. Now we're at the point where it's time to make our key. We need to make our key before we can start adding pictures so we know how many pictures to add. Typically, whatever picture you choose goes with your data. So when we did sports, our picture was a soccer ball. Does that go together?
Yes.
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 And then on Girl Scout cookies, our picture was a cookie. Did that go with our data?
Yeah.
Yes. What options do we have for pictures in regards to seasons? What do you think, Colin?
Maybe a sun.
A sun? Sure. Sure. No. Aiden? Okay. Jackson?
Snowflake or a leaf?
A snowflake or a leaf? Is that going to be indicative of every season?
No.
Maybe. We could. Just maybe not our best option. Ada, what do you think?
Clouds.
Maybe clouds? Okay. Ava?
Flower.
Flower? Okay. Gabriella?
A heart.
A heart? Maybe. Because we're talking about favorites, right? Lindley?
A tree.
A tree.
Okay.
Remember, we need to pick a picture that's something that can be recreated over and over and over again. So if I pick something very elaborate, like a squirrel, I have to draw that squirrel a whole lot of times. That's going to be very tricky. I like sun because I can crank out a bunch of sun. Alright, so with key, I want you to draw a picture of a sun. Should be a very quick picture because you're going to be making a lot of them. Now we got to figure out, what is our sun going to be worth? Look at our data. Would it make sense for one sun to be equal to 100? No. Why not? Why not? Caleb, why not?
None of the categories have 100.
None of the categories even get close to 100. So no, it would not make sense that our sun be such a large number. What about 10? No. Why not? Why not? Madeline? Not every category has 10. Summer does, but fall and winter don't. What could my sun be worth? Ava, what do you think?
1.
1. That kind of defeats the purpose of doing a pictograph then. Lindley?
2.
We're going to make it worth 2. I know there's only 1 in fall,
So make it half.
but 2 will be a good amount to skip count by. So in your key, I want you to make your sun equal to 2. Aiden, share. Great. Are you going to draw any suns in spring? Nope. How many suns are you going to draw in summer? Look at your data. Look at your data. Ryan, am I going to draw 16 suns? Nope, I am not going to draw 16 suns. Look at your data. There are 16 votes, but is my sun equal to 1 vote? Nope. My sun is equal to 2 votes. So how many suns am I going to draw? If I'm looking at my data, I might be making groups of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you need to draw 8 suns. That's why we picked something easy to draw. Could I write to figure out the total number of votes for summer? What equation can I write to figure out the total amount of votes for summer? Colin?
8 times 2.
Yeah, I had 8 suns, and each of those suns are worth 2 votes, equals 16. 16 friends voted for summer. Alright, let's get down to winter for a second. There were only 2 votes for winter. So how many suns am I going to draw? No, you should have went this morning. Then raise your hand. Santiago? 1. Why 1 sun? I thought we had 2 votes.
Because there's 2 votes there, but the sun equals 2 already.
Yeah, only 1 sun is equal to 2 votes. So under winter, I'm going to draw my 1 sun. That brings us to fall. I only had 1 friend vote for fall, but my whole sun is equal to 2 votes. How could I represent 1 vote when a whole sun is equal to 2 votes? Jackson, what do you think? We are going to do half a sun. If I have half a sun, I have half of my 2 votes. Well, what is half of 2 votes? Maddie? 1. If I have half of 2, that's just 1 vote. So I'm going to draw half of a sun. Half of a sun. Does that make sense?
But why do you why there is different books that we don't
This is the same data.
What's your favorite?
No, I don't care what your favorite season is. I want to know, based on my data, what questions can I ask? Aiden?
How many more people voted for summer than winter?
Good. How many more people voted for summer than winter? How many more people voted for summer than winter? What kind of equation would I make to answer that question? Anyone? What kind of equation could I make to answer how many more people voted for summer than winter? Anyone, you want to give it a try? Is it plus 2? Am I adding summer and winter together? Take away 2. I have my summer friends, and I want to know how much more than winter. 16 subtract 2 is going to be 14. Great question. 14 more people voted for summer than winter. What could be another question I ask based on my data? Gabriella?
You can ask, what was it going to be? How much does, never mind, I can't remember.
Okay, Aviana?
How many votes are in all?
Yeah. How about I say how many people voted? How about that? How many people voted? What kind of equation could I write for that? Ooh. What kind of equation could I write for that? Piper? What kind of equation can I write if I want to know how many people voted?
16 plus 1 plus 2.
We talked about another equation that I could write. Use your pictures. Emily?
16 plus 3.
Nope. Not wrong, but that's essentially what I got on the board. Colin?
19 divided by 2 equals 1.
Nope. Gabriella?
16 times 3 equals 1.
Where is 16 times 3? It's 3 groups of 16 in this data. No, you just make it up stuff. Look at how we solved total number of cookies yesterday and total number of sports yesterday. How did I do that? Jackson? What are you looking at, Jackson?
I'm looking at the pictures.
How many of them? So I might say 9 times 2, because I have 9 whole suns, right? And each of them are worth 2. But then I have that half a sun that I gotta deal with too. So plus 1. What is 9 times 2? Every single hand should be up. That is a doubles. You know your doubles. Ryan? 18. Plus 1. 16, 17. Very good. Very good. I want you to write 2 more questions on your own that you could ask about this data. I want you to write 2 more questions on your own